What's up? What's up?
What's happening, boys?
What happened to my other window? How is everyone doing? Let's see here. We got live chat on. Literally me will never die. I don't know about that.
I don't know. We're to find out.
Yeah. Oh, man. Is this spurging? Please don't be spurging. That would be incredibly annoying. 60 FPS. Okay.
All right.
I think we're okay now. Is the stream jittery? Is it like...
Yeah, let us know about the sound and everything.
Yeah. Let us know if this is extra...
Yeah. We're once again... we're behind the green screens, in front of the green screens, in the No Girls Allowed gamer zone here.
It's jittering. If it's still jittering, why the fuck would this still be jittering? Video seems a little jittery. Okay, well, it looks like we're streaming okay now from our end. It says we got a 60 frames per second smooth, and we've got a full connection.
We're going a little fast and loose with this
the
computer.
So the plan was tonight to play some more Mass Effect. However, the power supply that was connected to my graphics card, the port that connects to the power supply burned out. So my graphics card, no GPU. And we even tried installing older games, and unfortunately
Mass
OBS
Effect still worked, albeit at a very low FPS.
It was unplayable.
But
once we got into combat, it was
Morrowind didn't work. Bloodlines didn't work.
Right. Well, worked.
Bloodlines did work, but not well enough.
Yeah. No, Maliki, Mass Effect did not kill my graphics card. What killed my graphics card was my 13-year-old power supply. But it did explain some problems that I was having. I was having massive frame rate issues when I was trying to play Star Citizen a while back, and it's because I think the graphics card simply couldn't draw enough power. So we're running completely on the just on the CPU and motherboard outputs and everything tonight until I can get a replacement power supply. The power supply is still working for the rest of the computer. It just wasn't handling the demands of my GPU.
Yeah.
No, and it did have enough wattage. Rated. It's just old. But literally me will never die. I don't know about that. I kind of agree. Literally me will not die
per se.
It's going to be different from now on, though. At least in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Fortunately, a PSU is a cheap part to replace. Correct. How's it going, Ryan Howard? That's his new logo for you guys out there as well. RGH Press.
Nice.
And we will have a new logo coming soon as well.
Indeed.
We're still working that out.
We have an idea in mind. We just need to
confirm with the artist and all that. Did you guys ever do the Sabat video for VTM? We did not
yet.
Not yet.
But we will.
We will. All in good time. We make videos as the interest strikes us. And we've had other ideas that are taking precedence over that. We've had a couple recently that were sort of like time sensitive. Like we had to get that algorithm one out for the algorithm before we missed the wave. But I do want to say, everybody out there, we do have the Shucked Oyster for sale on Drive-Thru RPG. If you have not picked it up yet there, go pick it up. Link should be in the description. You can also just go directly to our channel page and get the Mixam version that way. Check that out.
And is the PDF working with Mixam?
Yeah, Mixam. So, you should also be able to get the PDF with your order through Mixam.
Yes, which was not previously the case.
Yeah. My Gen X self-fulfilling alienation will never die. But making that marketable to affirmation culture is probably a very different question. I don't know what that means.
Well, I'm assuming he means like just marketable, I guess, in the current moment, not the current moment, but the previous moment we've been living in for the past 10 years of making things more soft. I don't know. I may be completely off base.
You need to change your resolution. Current resolution is 1440p, which is not supported for this configuration. The expected video resolution is 1920 by 1080. Oh, that is fucking irritating. All right, let me see if I can change my settings. Hopefully this doesn't kill the stream. I don't know why that's a problem.
Well, in the meantime, while you're doing that, I see Bacon's here. Good to see you, man. The Van. Good to see you as well. If it's 19...
Please turn off any outputs to change video settings. I wonder if that's the stream. 1 second.
It probably is.
It's going to go dark for a second, boys. Let me see here. All right, 1 second. Settings. Video. Nope. It's because we're streaming. All right. Well, sorry, guys. We're flying by the seat of our pants right now. Open widget. Let's try this. It's just telling me, God damn it.
I think it's fine. It's the same aspect ratio.
All right.
Rather than...
Fucking retarded.
Yeah.
This wasn't a problem last time. Hey, bros. How's it going, Bacon? How late are they going to be? Come on.
Not late at all.
Howdy, y'all. I'm 90s Trash, but I'm ready to hear all about your neon wrist and ankle warmers. And programmer socks.
Yep.
The 90s are all right. That's when I found the hobby. Okay. 8 works. I'm not entirely sure what's eating them. Will be in this one. I don't know. How's it going, Grognard?
What's going on, man?
I don't remember how immersed we were in characters back then. I just remember being more enraptured by stories. Is that 90s or just young? I don't know.
I think just being young. I mean, part of it is the 90s. Mm-hmm. When you were immersed in the 90s did seem great. I loved the 90s when I was in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was a kid. But things were seemingly better.
Seemingly better in a lot of ways.
But they were actually quite bad in a number of other ways, which were unclear to me until many years later.
Both gone. 1 minute late. I'm sorry. No, we weren't. False. Lies. It's pretty Blade Runner to have Japanese ads at the beginning of your YouTube.
Nice.
That's just the YouTube algorithm going for it. All right, come on. Let me scroll.
What?
Oh my God, I hate this. There we go. When I started in the late 90s, we had to constantly remind me not to mix in character and out of character and that they were not their characters. Immersion went too far.
Interesting. Remind me not to mix in character and out of character. And that they were not their characters.
Yeah.
That's probably not a case of immersion going too far. That's probably people not role-playing and just playing themselves.
Got auto stop on. Let me turn that off. Okay. At the risk of fucking up the stream, I'm going to attempt to fix something.
Okay.
It's going to go dark for a second. You will not reconnect. Your stream will stop and you'll no longer be live. But I did turn off enable. God damn it. All right, fuck. I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, it is what it is today, boys. We'll have it figured out for next time.
No girls. That means we're allowed one, and that's probably Harmony Ginger. Sounds good. How's it going, Primeval Fantasy?
What's going on,
to see
dude?
you, man. All right. Blind Marksman. Howdy, folks. First time catching a live stream. Welcome,
nice.
welcome. Well, tonight, we usually, since you're new here, we usually do start by talking to all you guys, and then eventually we get into the topic a little bit later. Corn Pop Shepherd is MIA this evening. That's correct.
True.
Yeah,
he's on assignment somewhere else.
Yeah, we tried to do make a Tremere character for Bloodlines, but the stream was chugging like super bad. Even though the game was running fine.
Yeah. Scudder for Mike's here as well. Good to see you, man.
Oh, nice. There he is. Good to see you, boys. Yeah, thanks for making the video about the
Oh yeah, thank you, man.
The oyster shuck or the shuckstein or whatever it's called. Started using the oyster, Gaston, in my Shadow Dark game last Friday.
Nice. Yeah, he's a great man.
We ran for a couple of people who backed the Kickstarter. It's taken a long time to wrangle everybody. We had a few cancellations. But we ran the Shucked Oyster for a couple of the guys who backed at that add-on tier for the Kickstarter, finally. And it was a ton of fun. And they all died. It was great. It was glorious. Corn Pop Shepherd is literally me. Yeah. I'm literally the guy in the picture. I know. Wish you were. Literally me, identifying and having a place in pop culture. Alienation. Yes.
Identifying and having a place in pop culture
the
as
alienation
opposed to alienation?
Aspect. No. I think it's both. It's the alienation having
a place in pop culture. Yeah.
Boomer launch games. It's not my fault. All right. We had a literal hardware issue this time. Now we're really in the Black Lodge. Yeah. To be honest, the character from Drive is cringe as fuck, simping over a single mother who had a kid with a felon. You're not wrong. But that movie is great. It was a shot in the dark without knowing exactly what the title was about. Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of thinking about with the vibe shift in culture.
Yeah.
Where are things headed and what's that going to mean for art? Because this is not... it's not going to be the same as it was in the 2010s. And it's going to take a while to get there because you've still got...
You have to clean the pipes and get all the stuff that's in the hopper right now.
Right.
And it's going to take a little bit, although I think way sooner than I would have imagined even a year ago for...
Even 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, even 3 weeks ago, the institutions to shift.
Yeah.
It just takes time. And even honestly, even if that wasn't the case, the vibe shift has occurred. Mm-hmm. The landscape is wide open in many ways, but what the features of that landscape are yet to be seen.
Yeah. All right. Good to see you, Brian. Jay. Forgot it was Thursday. How are you guys? We're great. We're doing really well right now. Reject relatability and embrace aspirational characters. I would tend to agree with that.
I would as well.
I'm immune to nostalgia. I don't believe you. That too far was what made my roleplay what it is, and I still yearn for. Nice. Yeah. Black screen stream. Yeah. Stream looks fine except for a little green screen flicker. Cool. All
okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
That is yes. That's just green screen stuff. It was like motion stuttering was what we were concerned about. Let me see here. Welcome to the party, pal. Yeah, it's Die Hard. All right. Recognize the quote. The movie's pretty good. Not my favorite from this director. Only God Forgives is. I have not seen Only God Forgives. I haven't seen it
either.
Did Refn do the Pusher films? I really liked Pusher 1 and 2. I haven't seen Pusher 3. But I have seen what was it? It's the one about the neon demon.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the one
you
we
showed
watched
me
with
that.
The witches. It was fucking weird. I like it
weird.
though.
The aesthetic is amazing.
Yeah. Benjathan, good evening.
To see you, man.
Blue hairs, exit left stage, air stage left. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I bought the shucked oyster. Man, the shipping is killing me.
I feel you, man.
You have no idea. We waited 22 days for the first copies, for the first prints that were busted, and then it took more than 30 days the second round.
Terrible.
So I feel your pain bigly. I get together with an old friend and watch it every Christmas Eve. It's not Christmas until Hans Gruber falls from Nakatomi Plaza. Yeah. Trump has been in office for a year over the past 10 days. Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, it's been wild. And I mean, like, regardless of what you think about the politics of it,
so much has happened.
So much has happened. So much has changed. So much of, like, even who supported him, like the tech companies falling in line behind Trump is a massive signal that the culture is changing.
Yeah. And
at virtually every level.
Proof and credence to what a lot of people out there have been saying in that regard. What's been the case and the way, what would you say, the communal understanding of the world and of history that's been the case for, the past 70 years or so is changing dramatically.
Yeah. people getting bored and tired of the 2010 stuff. Yeah, man, it's so bad.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like so much of it. There's always been slop entertainment, but so much.
And there
of it,
always will be.
There always
so
will
long
be.
as there's a
mass
a mass
market. Yeah.
media apparatus.
But the yeah, the 2010s were so bad for art.
Yeah.
There's obviously there was some good stuff, but in the main it was propaganda was the thing, and that's what was so bad about it. Is like it doesn't. There's no way that any artist can make art and not have some bit of their philosophy make it into what it is. Like that's just
that's how it
your
works.
worldview. Yeah, you have a way of observing and creating things, and that's going to make it in there. But it's when something moves past your worldview into like just propaganda. It's not art.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a couple super chats. It looks like.
Oh, Biden is.
Oh, and Biden's out. We don't have the Biden chat on this computer. Butt Quack. I really want to play a Deva who tries to connect with humanity and overcompensate for his lack of humanity by learning leaning really heavily into the literally me stuff.
Ryan Gosling LARP.
Yeah, that's not a bad place to start.
Concept. Yeah.
Talking about Vampire the Requiem. Glad to see you guys. Since you're using locals, why not Rumble? What are the pros and cons of Rumble versus YouTube? Reach, honestly.
Yeah, reach. Audience.
Rumble
the consumer,
doesn't have
a
the
fraction
user
of the
base.
people
Yeah.
who consume YouTube content consume Rumble content.
Yeah. So that's it. And YouTube is really good at putting your stuff in front of people who want to watch it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's propaganda, but also in the 2010s, maybe you could say a little bit before, but coincidentally with, the Great Awakening and explicit propaganda being shoved down everybody's throats is the first real attempt, and certainly a successful attempt to like gamify the low-hanging fruit of the internet. Right, so you'd have listicles, and you had BuzzFeed even before it was explicitly paused. It's just slop content. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Biden bot is not gone for good. Man, it is stuttering now. This is really annoying.
Yeah.
Biden bot is not gone for good. We had already set up everything.
We're on a different computer.
We're on a different computer. Everything was set up here, and we're not tearing this down and moving it into the other room and using the other computer.
D&D is here.
Dragons, good to see you, man.
Good to see ya.
NWR also, Nicholas Winding Refn also did Valhalla Rising, which is incredible. I have not seen Valhalla Rising. I've heard it's very good though. And yes, he did the Pusher films. Yeah. Neon Demon's not for everybody. And I'm not even sure that it's a good movie either. But
It's not an aspirational story.
Definitely not.
That's for sure. It's in the name.
Yeah. Will the conversation on the net determine pop culture? It already has.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, all of the woke stuff poured out of the universities and made it into Tumblr and Reddit.
And then into everywhere
and then
else.
into everything.
To media and then into the workforce.
Right.
And that's how it works.
And the lampooning of that, which is now making its way into mainstream comedy, is also the direction. The pendulum is swinging. You could say. So yes, the internet.
Think you're right. The pendulum is swinging away, but I actually think the pendulum swing metaphor isn't really. Oh. I don't think it's a pendulum swing. This is a more large-scale, more fundamental shift in the culture that hasn't happened since World War II.
I agree. Can't comment on Drive, never saw it, but Fight Club and American Psycho are about literal psychos who lose their grounding in reality. Yeah, well, that's literally me.
You haven't felt that way every day? North of the Rockies. $10. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. My recollection of the 80s was endless partying and naive optimism. I doubt the culture could go back to that extreme. Well,
I agree. We were talking about this before, and we'll get into it more, but I, in the main, agree with that. However, and we'll get to that.
I'm still waiting for the nanny state culture to regroup and the other shoe to drop. I still can't believe what I've seen in the last 10 days, more than I could have believed possible.
This is the thing.
It's more than anyone could have believed possible.
The shoe is not going to drop.
Yeah.
That's not to say nothing will be opposed, that everything that a lot of people want will be achieved.
There's not going to be a rubber stamp forever. Yeah.
But because that never happened, even the left, did not have they still experienced resistance. There will be resistance. But here's the thing. The vibe shift is complete. Yeah. And with what is happening, the 20th century is truly over now.
Yes. Yeah.
There's no hammer that's going to fall at this point. The shoe is not going to drop.
The toothpaste has come out of the tube, I think, and it's not going back in. Obama issued vastly more pardons than any other president. Not sure about executive orders. Biden did more than any other president by a lot, because he pardoned a lot of like marijuana users. So he had something like more than 8,000 pardons. There's no going back to the 90s. I'm not 100% sure what comes next, but it won't be going back. The only way out is through. Correct.
That's true.
That is very true. Propaganda will be more transparent now and less like soft power. I expect it will be loud, but not directly supervising. I don't know that the propaganda could be more loud than it was from like 2018 to 2022.
Yeah, the only way it would be louder is for it not to be propaganda. It would be literal boots on the ground.
Right. Yeah.
Like in the UK.
How goes Colts of Zahak? Very well.
Quite well.
We are Jack. You're in the locals. You know. We completed the Nomad cult. Barbarian cult is very nearly finished. We didn't want to post it without there's some main pieces
some characters
that are going on there. We have the primitive cult totally mapped out.
Yeah. And we have the thematics for the civilized cult ready to go.
And we have a new we're waiting to post another update on the Kickstarter itself until the next art piece comes in, because we have a metal golem coming in. It looks
awesome.
Fucking sick. So we're just it's got some extra
detailed,
very fine detail work on it. So we're waiting on Dane on that. And he can take his time.
Yep.
But yeah, it's going really well. That we're plowing ahead full steam right now on that. And I think by end of March we're gonna have exactly
I believe so.
What we wanted. Yeah. Rumble and BitChute suck compared to YouTube from a user perspective. Yes.
Yeah.
Odyssey is probably the best alternative. The search actually works and it keeps you logged in. Odyssey does fucking suck though, and it's run by complete morons. And the reason that I know that is because I know people who worked at Odyssey, and I've heard horror stories. It's basically a dead app at this point. And it's also completely now divorced from like the library blockchain thing. So like its feature is gone.
Yeah.
Hello, all 90s in Poland were crazy. I bet it was. The US were heavily romanticized. First half of Neon Demon I liked, then it kind of lost me. It gets weird.
Yeah, it gets weird.
It's very weird. When the pendulum swings, you want to be ahead of it. If you're behind, you're cringe. Exactly.
That is
and we have
true.
Seen many instances of this already.
And we're going to keep seeing that for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
Odyssey is head and shoulders above every other alternative platform from a strictly user point of view. I always watch stuff there if I can over YouTube. Excuse me. Even SNL is making fun of woke stuff now and making black jokes. Culture has definitely shifted.
Yeah. Yep.
Some people know which way the wind is blowing now, and some people still don't. It's very funny.
Yeah.
You just can't sustain the levels of politicization in every space like we had in the 2010s. People just check out. That is a huge thing.
Yeah. you can't sustain that level of politicization, without physical force.
Yes. Yeah.
And
without the backing of this, literally the backing of the state,
yeah.
like the police.
And the regime does not want to do that, not because of any moral fortitude on their part, but
right.
Their whole what's the animal metaphor? They're foxes and not lions.
I don't know.
No, regardless.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't know
is what they're most comfortable with.
Right. Let's see. Crafty Matt's here. How's it going, man?
Good to see you, man.
To see you. Legit just waiting for the pendulum to switch here in the UK.
Dude.
I don't know, man. It's rough.
It's rough. It's either going... I don't know about the UK.
You guys already have like hard power being
used on you.
So I don't know.
And have been for a while. It seems like... it seems like it hasn't clicked with the regime in the UK yet.
Yeah.
So I hope it does. I hope it doesn't get way worse before it gets better.
Me too. We will still make fun of the British, though, on that note.
Yes.
Because we are American.
As a matter of national pride.
Yeah. The politicization of everything is exhausting. It is. Everyone's fucking sick of it. And that's why it largely, like, the cancel mobs doesn't really work anymore. People don't care.
It's not only that they don't care, it's the logical endpoint of the worldview, of the philosophy, has been reached. Mm-hmm. There's nothing left in the toolbox.
Yeah.
There's no other play that hasn't been made and hasn't been completely exhausted. There's no other insult. There's no other bad faith framing.
Yeah.
Which hasn't already been used to exhaustion.
Right. It's like they've run out of ammo.
Yeah.
Like entirely.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting over here in Canada. Well, you might be part of the United States soon, so who knows? Hopefully not. Kier is probably the most disliked PM we've ever had for good reason.
Yep.
How the fuck did that guy get elected? I don't know how the system works over there, but he's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Canada is fucked up beyond all recognition, and not by Trump. Yeah.
Yep.
At least Trudeau is out. Even more than Blair.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh yeah. The scandal that we can't really talk about on YouTube in the UK is way worse than anything Blair experienced or was a part of. Although he may have been a part of it. I don't know. I don't know anything about your politics. So, question: does BLG have ideas for expanding outside of the fantasy genre, sci-fi, horror, something else? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. We've got a couple of. I've talked about this before. I mean, we have an idea I've had for a game for a very long time. Crypto Locker, which is kind of a weird crypto anarchist future of dystopias and utopias existing in parallel with each other, and a lot of other weird stuff. It's very cool. It needs a lot more time to cook, though. And we're thinking about other things at the moment. And we have a contemporary game that we are cooking up as well. Mm-hmm. That we don't want to talk about right now, but
we will in time.
But we will in time. The new regime talks directly from the top loudly. The previous infiltrated and made you care about their whispers.
Well, until very recently, the regime believed that they could be challenged, right? And so you use soft power and you don't make overt, explicit propaganda,
right?
Without really being proficient in how you deploy that. I think a combination of things, but I think it is fair to say, in large part, the regime became overconfident. Whether it was confidence mixed with fear and desperation. I think that's also true.
Yeah.
But went too far too fast, and there's nothing in the gas in the gas tank anymore.
Yeah.
And they are completely demoralized now.
Yeah. There's a decent amount of people who still like Blair. I think Brown is less liked than him, at least. I don't have a lot of hope for Nigel Farage. Reform don't seem to be good enough. They're getting bent over by hope, not hate, and other garbage.
Yeah, this is the thing. No one else has really, and I think this could only be the case because a lot of this started with the United States, and it's only the United States. It only makes sense that the United States would develop the complete immune system response.
Yes.
First.
Yeah. Yeah. Crafty Matt saying, my daughter absolutely loves the NPC Gaston the Righteous
Rightfully
and wants
so.
to unleash him onto her friends. Good.
Yeah,
That's what we
she
want to
should.
hear. Yeah. Oh, God, he's so good. He's so fun. No prayers for Canada. I've seen their church.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's not in techie news. It's all the stuff I know about Odyssey is from Inside Baseball. Personally hoping I can talk about Lovecraft's fiction without people moralizing every 5 minutes about him. Well, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Who cares what these people say? If they're
Right,
going
these
to,
people aren't important or impressive.
they also don't care about H.P. Lovecraft's
I don't think
racism
anybody has
or anything.
really cared.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah,
like
there's been-
it's all a lie.
Right.
Like nobody cares. So you can do that. Is
Yeah,
the thing.
you can and you should. If
You
you're,
can and
if
you
you're
should.
interested and you're passionate about it, by all means do it.
Right. Farage is a boomer Brit bong, too polite for direct change. Yeah.
Yeah.
And your Tories are just as bad as ours. Lovecraft haters are the worst. Yeah. They're so stupid.
Haters are the worst.
Yeah.
And haters are weak people. You can hate something if it's worth feeling contempt for, but we all know what a hater is.
Yeah. Someone who is just a ball of negativity for the sole purpose of being that and with no conviction of it. Yeah. Over here, the PPC are good, but far too fringe to pressure our Tories to be decent. I don't know what that is. Haters who profit off of his work are the worst. Yes, the people, I don't remember which studio it was, but they made some Cthulhu-inspired game, and they have a huge thing up front where they're like, we're just going to say it.
We're just going to say the thing that no one is willing to say. He's a bad guy.
And it wouldn't be okay for us to not say anything.
Whatever.
We could deal with his shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. I have alternative app fatigue. I used to be militant for them, but I'm tired of this specific fight. Yes, you can't move the masses. Yeah, you have to make something significantly better, which means different features and better. You cannot clone these things and expect them to work.
Yeah. And none of these things, neither Google nor YouTube, were Google or YouTube immediately.
Right. Problem is we don't have anyone else worth their salt. The more UK stuff. All forms of social media run off network effects. Exactly. That's what we're saying. That's why you aren't getting critical masses off of YouTube, Twitter, etc. Correct. Mm-hmm. And Bradford also talks about the network effects in RPGs on his Substack that we follow.
Yes. Very good Substack.
Excellent Substack. Sorry. The best advice for people in the UK is get out while you still can. If you can. The writing is on the wall. I would.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I don't know that it's not completely my home
over. Yeah,
but I would be doing everything I can
to get
out of there. Yeah. And I don't say that with glee.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
Culture has been counter-saturated, but for example, Hasbro still owns our hobby. They own the brand of
they
D&D.
don't own the hobby. They own IP.
I don't think they're going to own it forever either, because I think that this is the last edition of D&D, official version of D&D that's ever going to be made, at least by Wizards, for sure. Mm-hmm. At least by Hasbro Wizards. And that a couple of years from now, maybe 5 years from now, they're going to shelve it because I don't think it's selling very well. Not enough people care about... It's not
worth the money.
Yeah. Not enough people care about the rules changes to even be enticed to buy the new books. And even normies are seeing the new books and being like, what is this?
Well, and more importantly than that, I think the window has passed them by to use the nerd culture moment to make multiple iterations of TV shows and movies. I know they had Honor Amongst Thieves, and I believe that was profitable for them. I don't know.
I think it wasn't. I think it was a bomb, but it was kind of
Was
a
it a
cult
bomb?
hit.
Okay.
Like, people really liked it. The people who saw it,
But not enough people saw it.
did to
Got it.
justify it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like, okay, so that's not an avenue. And that would be, if they made that work, that would be an avenue to another strata of money.
Yes.
Which you can't get from Magic the Gathering or from board games. But if it can't do that for them.
They are desperately trying to get the VTT off the ground, and they are
Which is just a huge money sink, and no one's going to use it.
desperately going to try to recreate the success of Baldur's Gate 3 without the people who made Baldur's Gate 3. And they're going to fail on that.
Yeah.
Their D&D video games, whatever they're making in-house, is going to be fucking garbage.
If I were them, if I was on their board, like I would, if I was on their board and I couldn't convince people to do what we said that they should do, which is just re-release everything, sell it to people. People will buy it. If you're not going to do that,
make it all compatible with the VTT.
Yeah, if you're not going to do that, get rid of it. It's just an albatross around your neck.
Yeah. Maybe the UK have some voices speaking out about what is happening. In Canada, there is no opposition. Legit Keir got in because of a series of incompetent Tories, and I don't know, legit voting for an 80 IQ brainlet because the Tory man in power is out of touch. Silver spoon is weird to me.
Well, didn't all of the other opposing parties sabotage themselves to not have like a UK equivalent of a red wave? I
don't know.
Misremembering recent events, but
The UK is more obviously fucked, but Canada has just as many problems beneath the surface. Our government is so utterly incompetent, I go red thinking about it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man.
Yeah.
Have you guys played the current World of Darkness Hunter? Is it any good?
I've read the current 5th edition of Hunter. It's okay. It's okay. There, like with the 5th edition of Vampire as well, there are some explicit story game elements that I just ignore.
Yeah.
And are certainly bad. But the interesting attempt to translate the hunger mechanic into a Hunter the Reckoning framework.
Yeah.
So
I have not read it, but I have heard that Hunter the Vigil, the new World of Darkness, Chronicles of Darkness one, is pretty good.
That is good, and a lot of Hunter the Vigil is in
Hunter,
5th edition
the new Hunter the Reckoning. Yeah. If you make a contemporary game, make sure to print the book brown on brown. Yeah, we'll do
of course.
that. Yeah.
Illegible
we'll
or bust.
we'll also make sure to fuck up the color settings so that the print is inconsistent and terrible from any POD service we use. Not when I look at how Transformers and G.I. Joe are being treated. Both have been pulled from the woke to people who are respectful to the IP.
Okay, I don't know anything about that, but that
I don't either.
Seems good to me.
Yeah, I like G.I. Joe and I like Transformers. More politics stuff that I'm not sure about. That's because Hasbro isn't actually making the toys anymore. They've licensed everything out. Hasbro is crumbling. Yes, it is. This is also why I think that D&D, like Wizards, I think is the only thing that is keeping Hasbro afloat. And Wizards doing that is mostly Magic the Gathering. D&D is a significantly smaller part of their earnings, from what I understand, and it's the 5e bubble. It wasn't a bubble. The 5e moment is gone. It's over. So I think that it's going to get sold off to someone else, which is unfortunate because as bad as Hasbro is, we don't know that the next rights holder is going to be better.
Chinese.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, what if it gets sold as Tencent or some other Chinese company, you know? And this is the problem with intellectual property on this stuff, is because if that happens, it's like you're selling a core part of American culture and Americana to a foreign country that now controls all of it.
Yeah.
You know, at
And
least
you're
the
also
official.
you are ensuring that over time.
And if you think that the Chinese company is not going to just revoke the OGL, like, you're crazy.
Oh yeah, of course they will. They don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah. Let's see here.
A crown lies in the gutter waiting to be picked up.
Many people are saying this. Yes.
Americans having guns probably puts a pause on government hard power. It
definitely does.
And I would say that because it does do that here, like or hate the United States, especially now, is back in the bully position and has been in the bully position for a very, very long time. And so it probably protects a lot of other places from using total hard power on their people as well.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
By the way.
for me owning guns. First competition total was 455 kilograms. Nice. Toys aside, missteps. Difficult to classify just stocks. Ran 3 sessions of OSE for the first time recently. First 2 sessions were a little rough, but things started picking up on the third.
Nice.
Heavily used random tables, producing hilarious results.
Hell
Third
yeah.
session highlight, players successfully tamed 2 giant ferrets from a ferret pit trap. All right.
Nice.
You'd think that haters are full of hate, but they're actually full of envy.
That's true.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is what drives them.
Astute observation. We've completely lost our place. People's Party of Canada is the PPC. Okay. Hasbro won't do anything with WotC until they really bleed money. Yeah. Magic the Gathering is the big one. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's no reason why you can't still have a Wizards of the Coast that is focusing solely on Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
You know, save money, fire off all the people who are working on D&D. It's not making any money.
Right. Hey guys, you guys inspired me with your D&D YouTube video a couple of weeks ago. It was the final push I needed. Nice. Everybody go subscribe to the Pitbull 156. The endless disclaimers people inject into conversations about Lovecraft, Howard, Burroughs, Tolkien, etc. are as tedious as they are predictable. Yeah. And again, you don't ever need to argue with the people who are bringing this stuff up. None of them are acting in good faith. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, you're a fool to accept their framing, so don't.
So don't. Talking about lifts, that's good.
Hell yeah.
The big D&D boom looks like it's subsiding.
Indeed, it does.
And this is the thing. There are people who are saying it's totally over, and I don't think that's true.
No.
The hobby's been around for 50 years. It's going to continue to be around. There's still a lot of people who are playing these games, who are interested in these games. It just is probably going to have a contraction. And that happens. Like,
yeah, even if there's not like a huge...
It's not going to be the big normie culture thing anymore.
It's certainly not going to be that.
Good.
And even if it's the case that D&D gets shuttered somehow, WotC holds it, but they stop publishing material for it, or it gets sold to someone else who doesn't immediately do anything with it, and there is no like catch bucket for the hobby marketplace, it doesn't mean that the hobby will go away.
Yeah, there will still be people making and selling games.
Yeah.
In my local area Discord communities, I don't see a lot of people forming game groups. Interesting. I don't know about that because I'm not disagreeing with what's happening in your local area. There's people getting together to play games in Discords and Guildeds that I'm in pretty much all the time.
Well, if this is in my local area Discord community, this is the thing. Again, also, many are saying this. And I think there's a tremendous element of truth to it. I don't know what this looks like, but part of what comes next is going to have to be a return to physical reality. The online space is huge and offers many opportunities that only exists in online space, but it cannot offer all of the things which it can't replace physical reality and physical meetups and communities and groups of friends. I think that's going to be that is the case, and there's going to be a growing awareness of that. I don't know what that means specifically.
Like, I don't remember who said it, but there many people have said this, that like if they started around COVID or whatever playing these games, that they have literally never played the game in person.
Right.
Which is tremendously sad to me.
Yes.
Because you miss so much by playing online. And playing online is good, and I don't knock anyone for doing that, because that was the only, I mean, that's how Nick and I met. That's how, if that's the way you can get your game, get it, like do it. But it's so much better in person. And I really, really hope that people talk to their friends, or go make friends and play these games in person, because that's how they're meant to be played, in my opinion. They're it's so much better. Crafty Matt saying Hasbro will shelve D&D. They won't sell it. They'll pull an EA or Activision. If they can't make a profit off of it, no one will. Yes, I think that that's the most likely scenario.
Yeah.
However, if Hasbro got desperate enough, they would sell it.
Or if they got a big enough offer.
Yeah. If that, yes. But it's the thing is, like, how big does that offer have to be? And
I don't know.
I don't know. But if they got into like serious financial trouble, like much worse than they are now, they might sell it. D&D popularity comes in waves. We're probably getting to the bottom of the swell.
I don't think we're at the bottom. We're not at the bottom, but we're on the downtrend.
Off the peak. Yeah, we're definitely coming off of the peak, and those effects are starting to be seen. You know, with YouTube, D&D, YouTube dying.
Because they're going to, and they have to push, at least for a couple of years, the 2024 rule set.
And from the D&D YouTuber space on this stuff too, it's like you guys have had 2 fucking years of talking about the upcoming edition, this big thing. It's released now. That's like talking about Cyberpunk. Oh man, Cyberpunk's coming out. New news about Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk came out, and it's not on top of mind anymore. You know, it's like that happens. Right. Mm-hmm. And the fact that the game sucks. Mm-hmm. And I can say that having only read the 2024 DMG, it's really bad, and you should probably not play it. We still call RPG conversations on YouTube D&D Tube. That's true. Mm-hmm. Why do I keep seeing leftists dress up like Victorian upper class on role-playing channels who owned slaves? I don't know. Maybe are they doing Candela Obscura?
It sounds like steampunk horseshit.
Yeah. Mike Merles is laughing his balls off at Chaosium. Yeah. I'm excited to see what Merles comes up with. He's doing like a 5E revision of some kind, and I don't know what else he's doing. I don't know if that's his personal project or if that's what he's working on. I think it's a personal project. Chaosium. Yeah. I will be very excited.
I might be wrong, but I don't think it's something he's doing for Chaosium.
It's been very fun to read his stuff on Twitter. It's been interesting. The 2024 books are selling, but it's mainly the alternate covers. Good luck getting an alternate PHB after the first month or two it was out. Yeah. I hate the alternate covers, though. I actually don't know what the
I don't even know what the alternate covers are.
I know what the DMG looks like. I don't know. Let me see here. WotC had a lot of cash after 2020. They expended all their cash reserves to make up for it on shortfalls. WotC isn't broke yet, but it will be soon if nothing changes. Nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
sort of reminds me of the comic book boom and crash from back in the 1990s. Maybe.
I don't know enough about it. But
I remember that because my brothers were super into comics. And I do remember the comic book boom and that X-Men, that ridiculous multi-issue X-Men set that you put them all together and it's one giant cover. It was fucking great. But I remember that going away and the comic shops beginning to go away.
Yeah.
WotC is flailing in the dark regarding D&D and paper publication in general. Their current C-suite is from tech, so of course they think the solution is going digital. It might be. I don't think it is. Like this whole thing of them making a VTT like from scratch and using Unreal Engine 5, I think is a fucking terrible idea.
Terrible idea.
Terrible idea.
There are not enough people who want to use a VTT at all, I think, for it to be profitable. Now, it's possible you can make money producing a video game, but that's not something that Wizards of the Coast, they're not a video game company.
No.
You know.
If WotC made high-quality reprints of second edition settings, they'd make bank.
A lot of people would buy reprints of second edition settings, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you can get them on print on demand on drive-through. They kind of suck. Like
Well, some of them you can. You can't get all
that's true.
the
You
setting
can't get
source
a
books.
you can't get
from
a
that era.
That's true, and you can't get the reprints of like Birthright. You can get the PDF,
Yeah.
but you can't get that. But I have it. Saw the new D&D books at a store, and bad art aside, the typesetting and layout weren't great either.
Yeah.
They did the two-page spread thing for the new DMG, and I didn't like it. It's not that I'm like, ooh, the layout's gross or whatever. It's just the content is so bad. Is so fucking bad. Like they're if you read that book and run the game in that way, your game's going to be shit and you're going to be burned out as fuck. Like it's a recipe for story game burnout. Like they just wrote down the 5e YouTube advice into a book.
Yeah.
And I am going to make a video about it. Not too terribly long from now. What's up, Patty? Good to see you.
What's going on, dude?
Sorry about bringing up politics, dudes. Well, I mean, it's,
no worries.
No, that's fine. And this stream isn't about politics as such, but it's related. Mm-hmm. And I think we with that's a good segue. It's almost 9:30. We can
yeah.
So we were talking about this, and we talked a little bit earlier in the stream that there is a shift happening right now, in a seismic shift in the culture.
Indeed. Indeed.
Obviously, the evidence of that was the election of Trump, and people seemingly being very fed up with everything that has been shoved down their throats for more than a decade now.
Right.
And what is that going to mean for art and for movies in particular, and the kinds of characters that we get? Because on the kind of right-wing side of things, we have the literally me characters, the Ryan Gosling from Drive, Patrick Bateman,
Bateman, American
Blade
Psycho,
Runner,
Tyler Durden,
yeah,
Arthur
Nightcrawler,
Fleck,
Joker for sure was a literally me character, where these movies sometimes are explicitly about these sorts of things, but are a lot of times it's kind of a product of the zeitgeist, where you get these characters that resonate with disaffected young men, that identify with the kind of alienation that these characters portray.
Yeah, they're people who are on the outs. They're loners, to one degree or another, and whatever like the normal world is like oppressive or like corrosive in some way.
And Patty, I don't know the Driver movie, but those other characters are not role models. Correct. They're not.
Yeah, they're not, and they're not.
They're not meant
They're
to
not
be.
meant to be, and people don't
models.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of these things where it's like, it's like, it's a joke, but it's not a joke. I'm not joking.
Right.
But, you know,
Yeah.
like most memes, there is something true and there is something identifiable
Yeah.
for a huge number of people in these characters, whether it's someone who is like Pat Bateman, who is a lunatic but has a circle of very shallow friends and is very successful business-wise, and he's rich and whatever, and you compare that to Tyler Durden in Fight Club. He's a claims adjuster for...
I'm sorry. If culture is shifting, does that mean future literally me's are all going to be trans women?
Definitely not.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. We missed that future.
Even but and we were talking about this in terms of periods of movies. Like even in the 70s, you had some literally me's. You know, you had Travis Bickle, who is not a role model of any kind, and is one of these characters who is a lunatic, but has that disconnect from other people. You know, the social isolation, the complete lack of a place in the current order, you know, that feeling.
Right.
But then you got the 1980s.
Yeah, you have the 1980s,
and the
there
movies,
aren't literally me characters.
There really aren't that many.
I'm sure there are,
there's
you know,
some.
but also in the 70s, we're saying that Travis Bickle is a literally me person. Travis Bickle wouldn't be and couldn't be understood as a literally me character in the 1970s.
Right, yeah.
Because the 70s are sort of a different, dark decade.
Right. But it was followed up by the 80s, which was a wild, you know, like
excess in all degrees.
And the movies are all super badass masculine power fantasy, like in terms of like popular media, action movies, unapologetic. It's fucking awesome. 1990, 1991, around then is when the last of those films were made. You know, the Total Recalls, the Roadhouses. Someone's bringing up Miami Vice. Oh, Miami Vice is literally me. A lot of the episodes deal with him being alienated from normal relationships. Okay. I haven't actually watched Miami Vice. But then you get the 90s, and you start getting the Tyler Durdens, the Neos, you know.
Towards the end of the 90s.
End of the 90s.
You start getting that.
But, and in the 90s, you're also getting all these movies like The Matrix and Dark City and like the X-Files, where everything is you're being lied to. The world is fake. The world you live in is fake. Fight Club, the world you live in is fake. You know, all of this stuff.
And all this is to say, it's the reason there's a connection between those characters and us, a lot of us.
Yeah, not us in particular. Yeah.
But it is that awareness. There's something fundamentally wrong with the way the world is, what normal society is, and not from a subversive, you know, wouldn't it be better if there were minorities in the 1950s? You know, it not from that framework.
Yeah.
There's something deeply, horrifically wrong that I can't
put my finger on.
I can't put my finger on.
I can't identify it.
We can now, but
because society has stopped working for the people, someone said, we're not even cogs in the machine. We are the grease. Yeah. That is what it has felt like for a lot of people for a long time now. And the 2010s was this sort of...
What bubbled through the like propaganda or the slop
are
these characters.
It's
these
Drive,
movies.
it's Nightcrawler, it's Joker. It's these things where something is fundamentally wrong. And Joker was a mainstream movie too. This isn't just some some weird little
art house thing,
art house or cult classic.
Fight Club also was, and Fight Club more than American Psycho, but Fight Club was not a art house film. That's a
No.
massive, huge movie.
Right. People weren't sure how it was going to do when they were testing it, though. But it, of course, ended up being a smashing success. But what's going to come out of if we have basically like turned if the 1970s turned into the 80s, this like absolute celebration, and we are shifting away from this really dark and horrible culture that we've had for quite a while, and you're seeing this where it's to the point where young men are like, you've been like choking us and battering us down for at least 15 years in a very explicit way, and it doesn't work anymore, and we don't care anymore, and we're just gonna be chuds, and it's gonna be fucking great.
The question is,
are we moving back to the 80s? Are we in the 80s again?
Or even like more fundamentally, like what actually does it mean to be winning? Because the anything heroic about the literally me, it's like the last man in the wasteland,
right?
Kind of
like
a thing, in so many ways. If we are winning, which I believe and I'm convinced that we are, and if there is a more life-affirming, aspirational, pro-masculine, pro-human spirit that is, the dam is finally breaking, and that energy is coming forth. The
just tuned in. Why do you have a photo of me in the background? I'm sorry, man.
It's a photo of me.
Yeah.
It's a photo of all of us.
It's a photo. Yeah.
The literally me archetype really only makes sense in a world in which we're losing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's a loser. It is an oppositional figure.
Yes.
And again, he says, I think you're conflating relatable characters with literally me. Oh, he's talking to the van, not us.
Oh.
Literally me goes back forever. The X-Men 1963 were literally me characters. Stan Lee nailed it when he and Jack Kirby made them.
I don't think
so.
No.
I don't think that they are literally me characters, because again, it's like what he's saying here. The literally me characters are fundamentally broken. There is something wrong with them. Though part of their character, they may ring true in some way. Like there's the aspects of Tyler Durden in Fight Club that are, that I'm sure every young man who's watched Fight Club has been like, I do get it. Even if you're not right, I do get it. There's something off about them. That's what makes the movie interesting too, from that perspective. There is a shift in culture, but it won't change the disenfranchisement because society is still broken. We're alienated from our neighbors due to cultural differences, and jobs go to foreigners.
That's true right now, and maybe true for longer in Canada.
Right.
That is a deeper civilizational cultural problem.
Right.
Yes.
But what we're talking about is a vibe shift does not begin to describe what's happening in the United States right now.
Yes.
And like we said, it's the Trump administration is going to do a lot of stuff, and they will have opposition, and the opposition will eventually have some sort of a victory at some point. But right now it's being steamrolled. And the thing is, the favorability rating's still there.
Yes.
It's going to have society. There's a lot of effects are going to happen. I mean, all these companies are shutting down their DEI initiatives. It's being purged from the federal government. It'll be purged from state governments, like everything like this.
Yeah. This isn't going to change.
It's not going to change
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Even best case scenario. But again, I am of the opinion, and you are as well.
Yeah.
But I'll speak for me here. It's what's happening right now is more than just aesthetics. It's more than just strategy. It's more than the elite regime cast being put on the back foot and then pivoting and the status quo being maintained.
Right.
That is not what I'm saying. Quo. This is real, serious, lasting, lethal damage to them and their philosophy, their spiritual movement. This is a complete breakdown of something which has defined an entire century of human history. Not in the least because we watched literal divine intervention happen on national TV,
That's true.
which means something.
In reference to the Trump assassination attempt.
Yes.
Literally Me is the postmodern deconstruction of the relatable hero.
The postmodern deconstruct. I don't think so. The Literally Me is not a deconstruction. It's all accidental.
Yeah.
I think. It's like the accidentally based thing with Barbie and with a bunch of other movies more recently. This is not media literacy.
Yeah.
And we saw that with Joker too, right? And even with the media and the Hollywood response to Joker 1.
Joker 1.
This is you're not allowed to relate to Arthur Fleck or even to like this movie for the reasons you're liking it.
Right.
Therefore we have to destroy
rape the Joker in the first 10 minutes.
Rape the Joker, yeah. And tank the movie.
Yeah. The movie, the sequel had to be, it is simply punishment for people who liked it for being accidentally correct about something.
Yeah. It's not a deconstruction. The Literally Me character is in some ways the only type of hero that can exist in a world that is doomed and has no heroes.
Yeah. I'm literally me. All right. Fair.
Yes. Accurate statement.
Maybe the brokenness of the X-Men comes about years later, Cyclops leaving his wife and baby after his girlfriend came back from the dead.
See, I think that I don't know that specific what that storyline that's in relation to. I think that is subversion. That is how can we ruin this character's life?
Yeah.
Something that was meant to be a broad abstraction, I would say, mainly for kids, for boys. Let's add suffering in the name under the false guise of complexity. I think that is a more duplicitous and willful subversion.
Yeah. Anyone remember the hipster who complained about using a photo of them without permission and it turned out to be another hipster? I don't know.
I don't know, but I believe that happened. That sounds.
But the kind of point that we're getting to is that there's going to be a change. You will still have the accidental characters. You will have the Literally Me, but it's going to come from a different place because, like Nick said, the Literally Me character can only come from the situation in which you're on the back foot, where there's like the full weight of something that you can't even necessarily identify is kind of crushing down on you. That's where these kind of figures emerge out of it. And of course, there's the ultimate 90s Literally Me of Falling Down, which is a great entertaining movie. That's sort of a character. It's touching on something that is in the water, basically. And so it's not something you're going to be like, we can't predict what the next Literally Me character is going to be. But if things, it's like if any of you saw, I'm sure many of you did, that New Yorker article or New York Magazine where they have the picture of all the hot people at the party.
Yeah, it looks like Great Gatsby in the 21st century.
They're like, holy shit, this is so sinister, right? And it's like, no, everybody's just having a great time, and everybody looks at this picture and says they're having a great time, and this is awesome, and we're just gonna keep partying.
Yeah.
It's that's like the energy right now.
The litmus test.
Yeah. That is the energy right now, and that's going to produce very different kinds of movies and video games and art going forward. And especially in video games, this hasn't really happened in tabletop, but video games the studios are closing up. They're failing. They've been making these garbage games, bad games that are just propaganda in many cases. And people aren't buying them anymore.
Yeah.
And in a big way. And there's a couple of, I don't remember the game studio. PC Gamer did a big article that was just full of piss and vinegar about this. But some game studios said that basically they're not going to...
a shareholder meeting or something. Or like an earnings meeting.
Yeah, they were like, it has become clear to us in the market that, having social causes in your games is poison for your wallet.
Yep,
it is. And so we are not going to focus on that going forward. And
a lot of people are going to do the same.
Yeah.
There will be holdouts.
There will be holdouts. And there
already are holdouts, at least right now. People have made very stupid,
very, very stupid
corporate claims, which they are going to retract.
Right.
For sure, if they remain in business.
Right. Or they'll be removed. But there
the company will retract it, whether or not the person is fired.
But
they will be.
But like we said, there's going to be a lag. There's still going to be games coming out that have been in development for the last 5 years, that come out and are going to be more of the message, and they're going to fail very, very badly.
Yes.
And I am very optimistic though at the moment for where things are headed. There was also an article today that we saw, basically that like Peter Thiel is getting involved in publishing fiction and shifting it potentially in a direction of more masculine fiction.
Yeah, there are a lot of heterodox like book and magazine publishers out there that have been for in some cases up to 3 years, I think, at this point. Right. There's a lot going on out there that doesn't have market share, or you haven't heard of because it really is either something that's discussed in very insular online communities, or frankly, actually in person. Again, that point of shifting from the online to the real. But yeah, the endless, the slow march of all corrupting, all degrading nihilism is coming to an end.
Yeah. And the point about the 80s is it's like the kind of stuff that is going to be appealing to people is going to be, it'll be different than the 80s, but it is going to be this
optimism and prosperity.
And optimism, prosperity, and power. Like that that will be it.
Yes. And also therefore masculinity.
Masculinity. Yeah. When postmodern leftists started writing comics, they started deconstructing debased heroes on purpose. That is
absolutely
100% correct. I think Trump is just trying to do so many things that they can't even respond for decades. Yes, that is exactly.
It won't take them decades long.
Yeah.
But yeah, they thought that we'd be still talking about J6,
right?
And we're not. We moved on already within the first 24 hours, which is excellent political strategy on his and his team's part.
Yeah, the color revolution will not go quietly into the night. Many of them are.
They will.
I think they will. Lots of DEI hires and fellow travelers are going to be out of a job, especially those who thought they could just change the name and carry on. Yes.
Yes.
Especially within the federal government. That is, they are cleaning house right now.
Yeah.
But that is filtering into the private sector, and it will continue to. If you want to go back to a more cheerful time, you will need people to be able to put meat on the table, buy a house, have a family, and grill with the neighbors.
100%.
100%.
Absolutely.
Dun dun dun. V POTUS watches Twitter. Yes, he
sure does.
He almost certainly has at least one anon account. Our bodies are machines that turn esoteric group chats into executive orders.
Yeah.
Ripple right into the golden age.
The golden age. It's right.
Oh, we missed one.
Did we
here
miss
too.
one?
What's the funniest holdout you've seen?
Holdout. What is this in reference?
I think in terms of people who don't know what time it is.
Oh, the Ben and Jerry's commercial is very funny.
That is very funny. That is very funny.
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry's, the ice cream company.
Yeah, we are going to continue to fight for climate change and diversity.
And communism.
We, as an ice cream company, a goofy ice cream company, know that this is part of our core ethos, business strategy, and just our very soul.
Yeah.
We were put on this earth to make ice cream for communists.
There's been some YouTube foibles that have,
Yeah.
for the most part, gone under the radar, but we saw that were pretty funny.
I think Ubisoft has doubled down, if I am not mistaken.
They're fucked though, aren't they? Didn't they just shut
there's
down
nothing
a
that
bunch
can
of?
save them now.
Yeah, they shut down a bunch of shit already.
Yeah. Yes, they have.
There was, I mean, even Paizo stepped in it with.
Yeah. They're screwed.
Yeah. Their game sounds like shit. I don't want to. I don't ever.
I think they were, frankly, they were doomed since second edition. But
Yeah.
it just didn't hook people the same way the first edition did. I think they're toast. What's going to be very funny to see is what happens to Onyx Path. They haven't said anything, but it's going to be great to watch.
I think though that they've already pushed out everyone who's not on board with the message from their consumer base. Like I don't know a single.
Yes, no one is buying it who's not a true believer. However, even the true believers, this is also the thing. They will go quietly by and large, because we have said this, many have said this. A lot of people have said this for years, and it is actually true. And if it's true, it means something. These people live in constant internal agony 24 hours a day. And they suffer despair and desperation at all times.
Yeah.
When there is actual resistance, not even physical resistance, just a complete, undeniable cultural repudiation of everything that they stand for, these are people whose lives are without power and agency in any capacity. And so they will go insane, truly, or they will have a crisis and accept the new programming completely.
Yeah.
In some way. I don't know precisely what that looks like, but I feel as though I'm correct in those two outcomes.
How can you say that Trump is crushing it when his earliest actions have already been slapped down so readily, such as attempting to freeze financial aid, not to mention the backlash from the ICE raids?
There has not been tremendous backlash to the ICE raids.
Yeah, not that I've seen. They're ramping up.
There are people who are bitching about it. They're whining about it, but it's from the same people you would expect to be bitching about it. As to the freeze in financial aid, there actually isn't a freeze in financial aid.
The foreign aid.
Yeah, the foreign aid. That was to the
if it's about the foreign aid, I don't think that's actually been stopped. They retracted
like a rescission of the memo.
Yeah, they retracted a memo or something.
And this is also
it was not
the
the
thing.
executive order.
It's like we are still crushing it. They're not dead yet. Like, you know, it's that they're not going to literally do nothing.
Right.
There will be hurdles. There will be setbacks. But this is unstoppable.
Yeah.
At this point. And it's not even because of Trump or any of his cabinet picks or his entire administrative team or internet anons. It is the spirit of things moving through time and moving through human existence at a civilizational level. This is happening.
Yeah. I'm concerned that recentering masculinity and right-wing philosophy and culture is simply a preparation for a climactic war in the Middle East.
I don't think that at all.
I don't think that's on the table.
I don't think that
I mean,
at all.
I could be wrong about that.
We could be wrong about anything.
We do not know the future, but I don't think that's going to happen.
At least not for America, I should say. I wouldn't want to be. There will still be wars and death in the Middle East, but I don't think we're going there.
Elder Goblins Games, if you're still here, I think I missed the beginning. Is this about there being no heroes in movies anymore? Not quite. It's more about that we're probably going to have
what
a
are heroes going to
revival.
look like in the future?
Yeah,
now?
we're going to have a revival of heroes in movies for a while. And the literally me characters are probably not going to be as prevalent.
Yeah, which is actually a good thing. Because that means things are actually improving.
Getting better, yeah. Joker resonated because people hate who talk and harass
people who talk on trains. Is there a super chat that we missed?
I don't.
Not that we missed it. Or maybe something just...
literally me of Gosling versus our guy of Trump.
Yeah.
How do you break through to these crushed souls and give them a new and actually literally me? I don't know.
I don't know. The thing is,
in a world without heroes, one man who's literally me
is me. I don't think
that's resonated because we all at some point trusted a twink and regretted it.
I cannot relate, man. But I feel bad for you.
That's really funny. Will younger people even have characters to relate to? All the content is real time.
Yes.
Yeah, they will.
Yes, they will.
Some of the issues with video games are more prosaic, I think. Diminishing returns from these bloated open world games with hyper-realistic graphics. We were talking about this earlier.
This is the other like albatross around Hollywood as well, but every institution. It's the over-corporatization. And it does in some ways go hand in hand with the woke stuff, of course. But even if you didn't have token diversity characters or fats as protagonists in your game.
Ugly demons.
Yeah. If you are still just making this video game in the office space building, or in the corporation from Brazil.
Right.
It's
I still need to watch Brazil. Yeah.
Yeah, you should. It's very good. Yeah. Creativity cannot exist there. So the bloated corporate managerial structure needs to be shed some way for these AAA studios to survive. This is also why all the good shit has come from truly independent or AA game studios over the past 5 years.
I hope we get some good original Westerns again. Any good literally me Westerns you can think of? I can think of two. I think it was John Ford who directed, and John Wayne starred in it. It was called The Searchers, which was actually explicitly one of Paul Schrader's influences in writing Taxi Driver, and Unforgiven. You've seen Unforgiven, right? With Clint Eastwood?
I watched it after you talked about it, yes.
That's sort of a literally me Western character.
Yeah.
Less so... Just go watch Unforgiven. It's amazing. But I had never seen Tombstone until like last year. And I was like...
last year, okay.
I was like...
Dude.
This is so fucking good. The only thing that I didn't like about it was that the shootout at the OK Corral...
Yeah.
It's like, the good guys, we're going to enforce gun control? I was like, wait, what? I was like, can I root for them?
Yeah.
But Kurt Russell's so fucking good.
Yeah. Amazing. Val Kilmer.
You called down the thunder. Well, here it is.
Yeah. Hell's coming with me.
You tell him hell's coming with me. Yeah, so fucking good.
Awesome movie. Yeah.
He's bluffing. No, he ain't. Fuck. Oh, it's great. Love Tombstone. And we may get more Tombstones. That's what I'm saying. We're going to get more shit like that.
We're just going to get like good
men doing awesome heroic things again. Unapologetically. Unapologetically.
Yeah. And I think as well, I'm just having this thought right now. I'm making a prediction. Over the next 10 years, there is going to be a noticeable, meaningful return to practical effects in movies.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's going to happen. That doesn't mean that CGI is going away.
The reason I don't think that's going to happen is because they're going to use AI. Because AI will be super useful for certain elements of visual effects. And it's going to be cheaper than having CGI.
I think you're going to see both. I don't think there's going to be a return per se, like a you know, a huge outward like repudiation.
Yeah.
But I think with the necessity to strip away or at least be cognizant of the financial what's the word I'm looking for? The financial cost of having bloated managerial systems to maximize outputs. On some level, I do think that there will be something of a return to practical effects. And
Maybe.
and
I hope so.
It will be noticed. That's my prediction.
I hope so, but I disagree.
We will see.
Did y'all see that DM Lair guy getting torn to shreds by his subscribers for saying he'd let JD Vance play Pathfinder?
I saw his bad apology to it.
Yeah, we saw his apology. That sucked.
Yeah.
His video was good and correct and not even particularly controversial. I knew his subscribers were going to flip the fuck out.
Yeah, how could they not? I think we got some super chats
Super chats. Here we go. Are you going to do something or just stand there and bleed?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Speaking of AA, Helldivers 2 was the best game of 2024. We went into a hostile universe and became the worst versions of ourselves to survive. You mean
I know
best?
Helldivers 1 was everywhere online. I haven't played either of them.
Oh, wait, we missed one here too.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony McGraw. And thank you guys for the super chats.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Lots of common leftoids seem completely done, which is good for us. Sadly, the leaders behind the curtains will regroup and try something else.
They will try. They have to.
Yeah.
But the thing is...
Oh, man, we've missed a bunch of them. The gender studies majors...
We really rely on Biden. We actually needed him.
We needed him to let us know you guys were super chatting. We'll finally get...
Yeah, sorry for missing these guys.
The gender studies majors will finally get the job their degree was meant for, a barista at Starbucks. It's Panda Express.
Yeah. The path to success.
Yeah. Okay, so where were we? But on this topic, I felt really bad for him getting...
Yeah.
Because I knew when that, as soon as I saw that video, I was like, he's going to hear from a lot of people. And he did. He had thousands of comments within like a couple of hours.
Even the tone of his video, it's like, you're not coming in as hard here as you need. Like, it seemed to be like he's still trying to do the conciliatory thing.
He was, because
I get it, but
I get it too. But again, it's like, this is a case of someone who is good-natured, who is being taken advantage of and having his good nature weaponized against him.
Yeah, which is always the case.
By a bunch of fucking losers. And you do not ever need to apologize for saying something like that, and do not accept their framing. And unfortunately, he did, and he made this big apology post, and
it sucks.
And almost every comment on that one was like, "I thought your video was fine. Like, good video. You don't need to apologize. Like, you really don't." And
you don't. And
I hope he doesn't walk it back any further. He shouldn't. He didn't need to. Everyone everyone who opposed that video was in complete bad faith. Complete bad faith.
I can only hope it was a learning experience for him as to how to actually look at these so-called people.
Yeah. Palladium books will survive purely because Uncle Kevin is too boomer to notice that anything happened at all since 1989. Yeah, he's still
ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, he still apparently does movable type in his basement or something like that.
Yeah.
Types out all the books. Yeah.
Ragnar was saying that to us. That's
which is
wild. Which is
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They have to say something before their mouthiest fans eat them alive. You just don't have to let your fans eat you alive. Like, this is the thing.
Because those people aren't actually your fans.
They're not your fans. Yeah, and this is the thing is, we have, through the comment section on our videos, through our videos themselves, we just filter out people like that already. So everyone here in this chat is not the kind of person who would do that sort of thing to like bring out the knives against the content creator, you know? So like we don't ever have to worry about that problem, which is great. But if you guys did that, we would not apologize to you. We would be like, fuck you. Like, I'm going to do what I want. Like,
we're right.
We're right. Yeah. There's no benefit to backing down. And the thing is, it's like, I understand you don't want to just like for no reason piss off your customers.
Yeah,
but the customer's not always different. Right, too, is the thing. They're not always wrong, you know, but the customer is not always right. And sometimes people are just complete fucking assholes. And you
it's
do not have to
easy
tolerate.
To spot a bad faith actor even on the internet.
Exactly. And you don't have to just sit there and take it from someone.
Yeah.
JB Pritzker has been pretty funny recently with his cope. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. But I believe you. There are a lot of people who've been coping hard.
Yeah. Luke Hart seems like a really cool dude. He does. I feel bad for how he was made to feel bad by his commenters.
Yeah.
Sean Robertson has been a solid hand guiding that ship. The Redux edition of TMNT is going to be so sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. President with the most deportations in the last 25 years was Obama. That is correct.
Yeah.
Israel and the Middle East are going to be non-starters with the death of dispensationalism and Yehudin worship amongst young men.
I don't know what the last part is.
I don't know what that part is.
I don't know what that means.
I actually don't know what dispensationalism is.
I don't know what it means with regards to Israel and the Middle East.
Dispensing things, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But
if it's the death of dispensationalism being the death of dispensing our tax money to other countries, then yeah.
I'm about that.
Yeah. I would also like them to stop spending the tax money here and just stop taxing me. Middle East adventurer here. The countries in that region aren't really capable of a protracted conflict.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things wouldn't exist without
I don't know. Afghanistan did it, dude. They've just been doing it for 50 years.
Yeah.
A lot of the talking heads are against all war. Tucker Carlson has said he regrets supporting the Iraq War. Correct.
Yeah.
Bluey is a positive show for kids. Even Disney removed a trans kid from an upcoming show.
I see a lot of people talk about this. And I know when we've been at Jesse's before, Bree or Jordan have had that show on. I've seen it on their TV.
Yeah. GOP used to mean grand old peace. Republicans before Bush were always anti-war. Not always, but many were. Yes, against World War I and II, that is true. Mm-hmm. Yes. All the 5e D&D meme Instagram accounts ganged up and turbo spurred out on him. Really?
I'm not on Instagram, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not on Instagram either. I have an Instagram, but I never log in. They keep sending me notifications too, like, "Hey, you have 2,500 notifications." I'm like, I know.
The number's got to get bigger.
Yeah. Dollar Trilogy. Clint Eastwood is literally me. That's probably yeah. That's good. The Searchers is excellent. It's a great movie.
Hell yeah, Dane. Good to see you.
Yeah. Dane, how's it going, man? We were talking about your Golem earlier. And how fucking rad it is.
Fucking cool.
The Searchers is great. And it was very hard to find for a very long time. You couldn't find it on any streaming services, but it is on Amazon now. Unforgiven is great. Tombstone.
Yeah.
Everybody loving Tombstone. Bone Tomahawk is an incredible Western.
Not a literally me movie.
Yeah, it's not a literally me movie. It is a great movie, though. I love the S. Craig Zoller movies. Brawl and Cell Block 99 is the best one. But Dragged Across Concrete is also excellent. Lone Ranger was fun back in the day. Not a literally me. No, just pure masculine virtue and hero. Yeah, Val Kilmer's great. Everybody's great in that. Michael Biehn. gun control against a gang in Tombstone. Yeah. You did say the words gun control in there, though. Juke that pistol and go to work. They should not do another remake of the thing. They did that already. They did the prequel to the Thing in 2011, and it was fucking terrible. And one of the reasons is why. Beyond the fact that so there's a couple things. Beyond the fact that they were just doing a prequel, they should have never just stopped digging up old properties, and you're never going to make a better version of John Carpenter's The Thing. Yeah. It's the best movie of all time. But the guy who was making it wanted to do all practical gore effects and transformations.
And
there's footage. Yeah, there's footage on of the VFX house doing all the tests on it. Then the producers stepped in and said, no, we have to use CGI. And fucked it up. So it made the movie worse already. But the biggest problem with that movie is that there's a bunch of female characters in it. Because The Thing is about a bunch of men. And it's a bunch of men who can't trust each other and have paranoia. And adding women to that situation
totally changes
the dynamic
how
of
it would
everything.
work. Yeah, would play out.
It changes the dynamic of everything. And it is an inferior movie. Even though I do sort of like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Bone Tomahawk, yep.
Yeah.
Everyone would love a return to special effects. It would be great. An aid worker loading water. Everyone has moved on. And
this isn't would Firefly come back? It will not come back, and it should never come back. Mm-hmm. The only reason people like Firefly is that it was canceled before it got terrible.
Right. We need more media rocking the colonial post-revolution frontier, 18th and 19th century era American aesthetic. That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
I want more historical fiction. Like there's so much interesting shit.
And I think
history.
we're going to get it. That's why I was so disappointed to hear that Egger's next movie is going to be a werewolf, which I feel like was not his choice. I don't know if that's true, but because I had heard like a month ago that his script for his movie The Night is complete. Yeah. That's what I was hoping for.
Hollywood will abandon California. It's already moving so much work out. Yeah, there was a couple of weeks ago a YouTube channel kicked up that its first video is Matthew McConaughey and Dennis Quaid and Woody Harrelson and all of these actors that are from Texas that are kicking up some big studio and getting a bunch of like tax breaks and stuff like that. So they're moving a lot of stuff to Texas, which is unfortunate. I don't want them here. But you're right. Practical effects will not return because the art of practical effects have largely been lost. This stuff can be invented again. This is this is when people are like, we can't do this anymore. We literally cannot. Like oil paint anymore. Anything is fake. This is all fake. It can be done. People can figure this out. Yeah. There's books that tell you how to do it still in existence. Yeah. I am not so convinced, and I'm not saying that this is what you're saying, but some people say this sort of thing. I'm not so convinced that incompetence is our destiny and so ingrained in us that we can't do it again.
Yeah.
It is time to stop apologizing. It was time to stop apologizing a while
ago. Yes. But it definitely, if people haven't gotten the message before, this is like the last stop on the train.
Right. Rare Billy Bob Thornton character L.
For?
Are you going to do something or just stand there and bleed? Yeah, from Tombstone. I'd rather die than let Vance play Pathfinder because Pathfinder sucks. Yeah.
I won't do that to you, Vance.
Yeah. Someone else, blanking on his name, asked the question about whether they should play with conservatives. Tells you his position and outlook on things.
Well, I think that's the guy, right? Is because this all
that might have been him, but there was also that Jay Martin guy who really stepped in it because this is so funny. That guy
Who was this?
The Critical Role review channel guy. We made fun of him for the...
yes. Oh, yeah.
So he stepped in it big time.
Wild.
Yeah, it was like right before, I think, Trump even took office.
It was right after the election. It was because...
No, it was early, like in January.
The wife's comments were...
It was post-election.
The wife's comments were before the election.
No, it was post because... So the guy opens his video. He goes, "Hey, so I'm making all my videos right now, and this is my... I'm doing over the course of the next week or whatever, and this is the last time my wife's going to be here," and she like interjects jokes in the videos or something. And he said, "So, honey, do you have anything you want to say to anybody out there?" And she goes, "Yeah. Fuck Trump, and if you voted for him, fuck you, you're not welcome here, blah, blah, blah." And then he just does the rest of his video, and people were like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like, I knew your politics were different than mine. I didn't really care, but you have to say that.
You called me out.
But now, fuck you, okay, unsubscribe.
Yeah.
So he was dealing with and he made this big apology video.
In the worst, most expected way possible, given...
And he made his wife apologize for saying
which is
it was just fucking hilarious.
It was so funny.
Yeah. But it was, there's people who don't know what time it is. Like, this whole thing of, like, it's not like, oh, Trump won, and there's not... Like, I know that there's probably a smaller percentage of these people in our audience who are on the left. I know that. That's fine. You're welcome here, and you're welcome to buy our books. But it's like this conception that, like, oh, in this hobby, in this space, we've been able to say whatever we want to the point where it didn't even occur to us that this could cause problems, and not understanding the level to which... It's not just the Trump victory that happened. It's this. The culture has fucking shifted, and it's going to continue to shift. Like, there's a big, big change right now.
Yeah.
And some people are just not seeing it.
Yeah.
This channel went dark for like 8 or 9 years, 10 years, something like that. Probably around 2014 or 2015, because I did know which way the culture was going, and I was starting a new career, and I knew that my shit couldn't be on here anymore.
Yeah.
He's also deliberately cultivated an audience of freaks for years, and the dumb apology video is indicative of how he ended up in that position.
It's very unfortunate.
It's just unfortunate, yeah.
Yeah.
I demand an apology that you would not apologize, yeah. I really respect how many mouth breathers you just say no to in your comments section. Yeah, I love doing that. Make a demand of me. No.
No.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what you say. No. Commenter, knives out. BLG, D's nuts. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, is that people, they fucking come in the comments section and they say a bunch of insulting shit, come out swinging, and then I call them names, and they're like, wow, real mature, dude. Like, shows your character. And I'm like,
yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, like, you don't get to come in, like, today.
You came out swinging.
Yeah,
like,
this guy, so we had our video on, like, why you should have objective good and evil in your game, and this guy's like, I'm not going to, like, this is fucking childish, and I'm not going to do this Prince Valiant nonsense. And so I just said, enjoy your gray slop world. And he's like, wow, bringing out the insults. Okay, I see how it is. And I was like,
dude,
you came in with the insults.
Right.
Get fucked.
Why didn't you give me a bad faith actor? Why weren't you fooled by my demands to make you give me a dissertation, a good faith dissertation,
which I did not do,
which I would then pick apart in bad faith,
right,
for every foible.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. This is the playbook of all of these weak, stupid people.
Right. Genuinely, the last thing I'd want to discuss at the gaming table is mundane politics, even if they were views I agreed with. Yes.
Yes.
I want to play a game. Like, come on. Service jobs teach you the customer is frequently wrong. Yeah. That is very correct.
Yeah.
But you still have to be polite to them. You know, if you're
at the job,
you have to be polite to them. I'd play, well, until there is a limit on that, even though. I'd play D&D with Kamala, but she'd have to play a Knoll Warlock. Message retracted from Dane. All right. I want to believe Fox Mulder, after seeing the behind the curtain and the TV show, persisted in spite of decline. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not letting me scroll. There we go.
There we go.
The winds of change are blowing, boys. Dr. Yakub is back and his medical license has been reinstated. Yeah.
One of the best memes.
I love whatever that Yakub Twitter account is that I follow is so fucking good. I think it might be an NFT account, but it's really fucking funny. Is dispensationalism the idea amongst some evangelicals that they have a religious calling to support modern Israel? Maybe. That might be it. And that idea is definitely on the way out.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that idea is being repudiated everywhere online.
Right. Even
this is like the
Matt
normie.
Walsh, like in a certain sense, and we've talked about this before. It's like in a certain sense, I understand what some of these media figures are talking about when they talk about how there are just some people that all they're going to do is talk about the Jews. And you have you have like Matt Walsh, you know, he said like we need to end all foreign aid. And someone was like, "Oh, like even Israel, Matt? Huh?" And he said, "Yes." Yeah. He's like I said every country.
Surprising W from Matt Walsh.
Yeah, he's
someone
like
I frequently think is cringe and lame.
He's like I said every country. Like, what else do you guys want me to say?
Yeah.
And then and people start spurging out, but it's like at a certain point, it doesn't matter what kind of a public figure you are. Someone is going to start bringing up the Jews or Israel in one way or the other.
Yeah.
And if you don't respond, they're going to be like, "Well, look at him. He's just dodging." He's dodging the question, and then if you do respond, they never.
If you engage like, oh my at God. All, like, it's like not everything. Like it doesn't
come on. Yeah, like it's like the sole fucking thing. Oh. But yes, just if that's what dispensationalism is it is on the way out.
Get it out of here.
Yeah. Cinematics losing prevalence. The success of Nosferatu and naturalism in general today as an expression of visual production seems to support the opposite.
What are cinematics? Cinematics like in video games? Or is that
no?
That has to be a cinema term. I don't know what cinematics mean as it pertains to cinema.
I have not seen either version
to.
of 310 to Yuma. Not the old
or
the
new. Yeah, the new comparatively one.
Yeah. S. Craig Zoller is a low Malachi time metalhead. He's a frequent panelist on the Heavy Metallurgy channel.
I don't know any of those.
Which golem are you guys talking about? This last one is
we love all of them, but we're very excited about the one you're working on.
Yeah, the one you're working on. Yeah. Women cannot understand how adding one woman in a group of men changes the dynamic. Yeah. They cannot get the dynamic of a group of men. Yes. Yeah. This is 100% true.
Yes.
Because this is also like, we were even talking about this at like, I don't remember what the context was, but it was about having female players at the table in a role-playing game. It changes the nature of the game. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
It changes how the game plays.
It changes any social dynamic in which there's...
Because it's any activity.
It's any activity.
Any activity in which you have essentially a mostly male, like a fully male space that begins incorporating women. The men just act differently because there's chicks there.
And men who have not domesticated themselves one way or the other do understand this. It makes sense that women would not...
Yes, it does make sense that women would not understand.
Yeah, would not understand this. They would understand this if there were 2 or more women in play, but they'd understand it from a female competitive standpoint. This is also why women don't understand what Eraserhead is about.
That is true. Women hate Eraserhead for the most part, on average. But yeah, no. It's like anytime that, and this is the thing. Like we play with like half the players at my table are women. It's fun. It's a game.
Yeah.
Most of my role playing game experience has been with women at the table.
But also the reason it works
is different.
It works because all of those women are paired up
Correct.
with one of the men.
Yeah, that's correct.
That locks things down and that reasserts like.
Sure, but it's still different.
It's still different, but like there's not really a tremendous threat of. Now we're also all friends, but
right.
That being the case, like, goes a long way in preventing problems.
Yeah.
But you are right. It is different.
It is different than if we were playing in an all-male
100%.
table.
Yes.
But and again, like, and this is not like this is not me backtracking or doing like any sort of like, I'm not sure how to explain it. I have played with really, really great role player women, like especially in the days of when I was playing Vampire and everything like that. It's awesome. It's fine. But having an all-male table is a completely different experience. Playing role-playing games. And it's just like that with sports teams at work. You know, it's
that's what different. I want. And if I come into a situation in which I'm pleasantly surprised because the exception to the rule is at my table, well, that's great. That's fine. But
Max is 100% right, is that the men change their behavior when there are women there.
Yeah.
It's not just that the women suck at the games. No. No, but it's the men's behavior changes when women are present. Anti-Fragility is a good book. Is that by...
Someone I know, whose name I know, wrote that, and it's escaping me.
Yeah, the Black Swan guy. Nassim Taleb. Is that a Taleb book?
Was it Nassim Taleb?
My friend Simon had to take a course from Taleb in New York.
I do not like Nassim Taleb.
He's really, terrible. Yeah. And I remember he would just lecture. He would never talk to the students. At the end of the course, he invited some of them to come to dinner with him. And they're like, oh, finally, we'll get like an opportunity to actually ask him some questions. And he said, but there will be no big talk at this dinner, only small talk. And he was like, fuck God. You, I'm not going. Like, why
would I only want small talk? Why would I willingly choose
he
that?
He literally said no big talk. Yeah, it's like, holy shit.
Anti-human.
Yeah. It's funny on Instagram, you'll follow a seemingly normie D&D meme account, and one day they're just like, I'm poly, I'm trans, I'm low-key gay, and DM Laird literally wants me dead. Oh, man. S. Craig Zoller's next film is called The Bookie and the Bruiser, post-World War II hard gangster film, and it's starring Vince Vaughn and Adrian Brody.
Nice.
YouTube does not like Brave. The tabs keep crashing. Yeah, I think because it filters out their ads. David Eggers' World of Darkness. We need a good historical series about the Merovingian kings. I don't know much about them, but that does sound cool.
Charlemagne and his...
I can only think of the Merovingian from
The Matrix.
The Matrix, yeah.
The original.
Yeah. Or especially the Matrix, the fourth Matrix. Did you see that?
I did not.
It's actually... It's terrible. It's worth watching because it's nothing that anyone said it was. And like Merovingian's in it for like 5 seconds, and he's like this like homeless bum. Like,
is it the same actor?
Yeah. They gave him this big wig and beard, and like it's so bad. But it had to have been bad on purpose.
In a fascinating way.
No, it's like it was bad on purpose, and it's definitely not like the woke propaganda that people made it out to be. Like it's
I know that.
And it's not like it's like, oh, it's super base, but I was just like, man, this is way different than I expected.
I'm going to sabotage my movie because I didn't want to.
Basically, yeah. Like, give me the check.
I mean,
like,
I do approve of that attitude.
Yeah.
If there's a Merovingian movie or TV show, that's going to have to come from the Europeans. Yeah. Ideally, it should come from the French. But it certainly has to be a European, I think.
Yeah.
To do that really justice.
It's such a ubiquitous feature of RPG creators. They just assume all subscribers are liberal just because they are. Correct. Well,
it's because so polluted by them.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of people on the left that, or a lot of people in RPGs now that come from the left.
Yes.
Making his wife apologize is very funny. Yeah, it was pretty good. I can't read that one. The right side of history, people are struggling with the fact that they are, in fact, not on the right side of history. There's just not, you can say there's sides in history, but it's like
what they're struggling with is that it's not a matter of being on the right side of history. It's that people are asserting that there is a right. There's a right way to be and to behave now and in the past and in the future.
Right.
They're just struggling with the fact that they're not writing history.
Gray slop world isn't even an insult, to be honest. Well, I meant it as an insult. I hate to give Matt Walsh any credit, but when he got his one big cancellation attempt, he had the right response. Kiss my ass, you should be apologizing to me.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know what that cancellation attempt was.
Yeah, I don't know,
but that is the correct attitude.
Right.
If people try to destroy your life like that, then yeah, that's the right way. Imagine shitting on someone's front porch and then getting yelled at. Yeah. Goddamn fucking chat keeps jumping. Brawl in Cell Block 99 is surprisingly a faith-focused film. Yeah, a little bit. Dragged Across Concrete is so good. Prefigured the pendulum swing of the current moment. Yeah, and it's a very smart movie. And it's like, yeah, it was super edgy when it came out because it's like Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn are like corrupt cops, and they beat the shit out of some suspect and they get videoed, and then the video goes viral, and so they get like taken off the force, and so then they're like, well, we need money. So they go to start like robbing criminals. It's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
But it's the characters are very non-woke in that movie. Mm-hmm. The movie is not an anti-woke movie.
Which is always a mistake.
Yeah. Yes. Do not make things.
Don't try to make art too moralize.
Yes. Don't make fucking. Don't make propaganda. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The solution
even if you're technically
woke,
right.
Yeah. Even if
you have good values.
Being technically right is the best kind of right, as we know. But yeah, even if you have good values, the point is not to. Oh God, they made a bunch of slop propaganda. You know what we need to do is we need to make our side slop propaganda. Don't do that. Just make good shit.
Yeah.
I think that as long as the international market continues to dwarf the Western audience, there will always be a force urging simplicity in writing. For big budget films, yes. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, Nassim Taleb. Should men make a conscious effort to not change their play style at the table with women, or is it something that just inevitably happens?
They should not make a conscious effort. The only conscious effort you should be making is the general, like, decorum and decency of being in a social situation. You should not make an extra attempt to be on your best behavior or be like, no.
Like we always say, just be normal.
Yeah.
Just be normal. But we all understand, every man fucking knows this. You act differently around women. Yeah. That's all there is to it.
And you, like that, that's natural.
That's natural, and that's just what happens and how it is.
Yes.
And that's it. Okay, but if there are any girls there, I want to do them. It will happen automatically. There is not a conscious awareness of it. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I love Taleb's interactions on Twitter. He seems like a real shithead. He is like, sometimes he said, and this is before I had ever lifted or anything like that. I remember one time he responded to someone and he just said, I bet you don't even deadlift. And I was like, all right. Bum, bum. Have you seen the movie with Viggo Mortensen, Put Out, an attempt at visually amazing 17th century historical...
Oh, Alatriste, I guess is the name of it. I have not.
I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah.
Merovingians were also the descendants of Christ, according to certain deep lore conspiracies.
Oh.
Warner Brothers told the Wachowski sisters that they were going to make The Matrix 4 with or without them, so they supposedly tanked it and made it meta on purpose. Yeah. That, I mean, it checks out. Like, cash the check.
Yeah.
Actually, I would just say make it without me then. But
well, I do respect. It's like, okay, if you're giving me an ultimatum, then I'm going to kill my baby.
I'll kill
and
it.
I'm going to take your money.
Mm-hmm. It was the most expensive one to make. It looks so much worse than the others.
That's funny.
I just want a world where people can both enjoy art, non-irony poisons, hyper self-aware, and be honest about it. Everybody wants that.
Yeah, everybody does
everyone
want
is
that.
desperate for that. Speaking of that, Matt Walsh and his ilk hate art. Their reward is a work in progress. A whip. I agree that Matt Walsh hates art.
Yeah, because he is like a caricature of a sitcom dad in many ways, in the worst possible way.
I'm trying to think.
He's just a stick in the mud, and that's he does that as like a point of pride. It's
right,
it's
and
such a weak,
ruthlessly devoted to being an uncool bore.
Yeah, an uncool bore, and like that is the only way to. This is the higher, better value than the woke is to be an uncool bore.
Yeah,
and that's just being uncool.
Right.
And just a miserable person.
The right struggles with art by temperament. It's why we lost the culture in the first place.
I disagree with this.
Yeah, I do too.
I think the reason we lost the culture is it's a far more complex question. But again, we are not all people on the right are not like little Matt Walshes who don't understand beauty and are like stodgy curmudgeons. I don't think this is true. Most of human history was right wing, and the most eternal pieces of art were right wing pieces.
That depends on what you mean by right wing, I think. Because I think a lot of periods in history do not fall within the current conception of left and right.
That is true.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying is like the values that you're talking about in terms of, which are not like, is not roughly even what people would call conservatism in America, but
yeah, I am not a conservative. I'm
right, but I know what you mean. Mean. Yeah. I appreciate communities like yours and the basic experts. You turn away those who don't contribute. Members are confident their community is untainted while welcoming those with real interest. Correct.
Yep, that's the way to be.
Yep. You just got to be able to hang. That's it.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn was good in True Detective Season 2. Wasn't that bad overall. I like Vince Vaughn a lot.
I've never seen True Detective.
Neither
I know
have I.
it's something people say I need to watch.
I really like Vince Vaughn, though. He's been great in most things.
That's right.
I discovered Powered by the Apocalypse and learned of Adam Coble.
God, this guy.
Is he still alive? Dude got banished to the Shadow Realm.
He didn't even get, he wasn't Me Too'd. He publicly on his stream, this is, I don't know, 5-6 years ago at this point, maybe. Showed himself to be like, just a degenerate leftist. They're all like this. Got way too into
the guy who had the X card thrown on stream, and then
he didn't have an X card thrown. People just went with it, but were clearly uncomfortable. But basically described like a robot rape scene with a female player, and he was clearly into it.
But they had safety tools in place, didn't get used.
Yes.
Yeah.
But and he took down his channel or he stepped away or something.
Yeah, it's like you've told me this story before. I still don't know who this guy is, but
yeah, he made the right choice for someone. He, as far as I know, he's disappeared from the internet since then.
On the subject of female gamers, that my own group, which I've kvetched about in your chat before, has a few female members, and I never feel different. Probably because I'm a confirmed bachelor. Are there other men there? The amount of women at the table is directly proportional to the chance that I won't try to stick my dick in a beer can. Coincidence? Oh, goddamn.
Deep questions.
Yeah, they killed the Matrix with Matrix 2 and 3 already. Yes.
Yeah, they really did.
They really did. I've had a girl in my group before, and it worked pretty well, but the whole thing hinged on her not being attractive.
That does alleviate a lot of problems.
That is true. I don't think Matt Walsh understands art,
think this
and it
is
scares
true.
him. I don't know that it scares him. I don't know him, so I can't make that judgment.
I think there's an element in which that's true.
My perception is he doesn't like art, and to me, I'm like, you're an enemy.
Yes, it's like someone who doesn't like music. Like I hate music as such.
Yeah, it's like, get out.
Yeah, or it's like someone who I just, what would it be? Like I hate children.
Oh,
you know,
God,
like,
yeah.
Or I hate dogs. Like I can understand. Like I don't want to own a dog. I don't own a dog, and I don't want to right now. But like the idea of dogs, I see them in the park, and I hate
them. Yeah. Matt Walsh is playing a character. He slipped the mask more than once. Well, I hate the character.
Yeah, it is possible that he's playing a character for the Daily Wire. I would not put that past him.
Right. People like Walsh are anti-intellectual, just not in the way people on the left mean it. Correct.
Yeah, yep.
100%.
That's all of Con Inc.
Yeah. Matt Walsh's contempt for pop culture is a big factor as to how we found ourselves going through the last 10 years in the first place.
And yet all the slop that the Daily Wire is putting out, it's like, let's do American Dad or let's do Family Guy. But if we have, like a castrated Archie Bunker as the protagonist, like, dude.
Yeah. The right lost culture by trying to be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Soviet infiltration and LSD. Yeah, we lost the wrong battle. Putting classical art up against what's churned out by the industry isn't even the same fight. Like trying to call Mozart a loser because he wasn't invited to P. Diddy's club.
I feel like I agree with you. I don't know that I fully understand that.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
Also, Walsh finally noticing Gamergate 2, Sweet Baby Inc., and everyone telling him to shut the fuck up was one of the best internet slap fights of the year.
Seen
that was
but
great.
That sounds great.
I think it was last year. Yeah, it was like he was
what
talking
did he
about
have to
video
say about
games.
that?
He's just shit on video games and everything. And people were like, okay, well, shut the fuck up about this then.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't catch that.
My spelling is awful today. Alcohol. I just think my experience with female gamers is a bit different from the normative man's.
Maybe. Or maybe you've known these people since childhood or something. Or I don't know.
Matt Walsh is a complete silly Billy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but Matt seems to me like he's always in character. That's possible.
Well, I would only ever see him when he's in character, if he's in character.
This is the thing. Go watch. You don't even have to watch the movie. Just watch the trailer for Nick Nolte in Mother Night. The point of the movie, basically he plays this. He's like an American intelligence officer or something like that who has infiltrated Nazi Germany and is doing like a radio propaganda show for the Germans. But what he's secretly doing is like getting intelligence to the Allies and everything like that. And by the end of it, it's like he's done this character so much and so well, and he has all of this these like feelings of guilt and whatnot. And he asks like one of these German officers afterwards or something like, "You didn't know that I was a spy?" He goes, "We always knew you were a spy." but you were much more useful to us playing that character. And so it's the thing is, it's like, if you're always playing that character, you eventually sort of become the character anyway.
Yeah.
Like in spirit. So if he's just playing a character, I still think that he's at least taking on parts of that character. And they show you all of that in the trailer, so I didn't ruin the movie. The trailer ruins the movie. The sex mechanic is what I called myself when I worked at Firestone as a youth. I hate breathing. Air is so moist and sometimes too hot and sometimes too cold, and all it does is smell bad almost always. All right. Most mainstream pop conservatives don't read much ancient philosophy, art, music, and history. They are usually inundated with the Protestant work ethic, even though over half are Catholic.
The Protestant work ethic has been a disaster for the human race, for sure.
I am anti-intellectuals, fucking nerds. We need men of action.
I disagree with that. The nerd is not the appropriate opposite to a man of action. I would say, or a nerd is not.
Yeah.
Is not the paragon of someone who has a working mind or like even a focus on the mind. I think it's a false dichotomy. I think BAP also has been a disaster for the right wing and the human race.
Yeah.
I'm firmly anti his perspective.
I tried reading Bronze Age Mindset, and I was like,
I've read it twice. I haven't read this new book.
Fucking, I get what you're doing. I understand.
Like
the character. I get it.
But
hate
you
this.
are a miserable degenerate.
Fucking write what you mean. The book didn't benefit from the goddamn caveman speak.
Yeah.
It's just write what you mean. This is what I hate about people. Fucking say what you mean, write what you mean, and then nobody's fucking arguing about it, confused about it. Like, this is... I hate this shit. I hate when people do this shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, also, we need more BLG Mass Effect. Well, that was the plan tonight.
Yeah, it's going to have to wait for a new power supply.
A new power supply for the computer. Because, and I don't have the cable present.
But I'm glad people liked it.
Yeah, the cable was literally melted. If you were active circa 2017 to 2018, you may remember an incident where Chris Ray Gun dunked on Walsh for saying violent video games should be banned. Oh, what an idiot.
I feel like I've heard that name. Who is Chris Ray Gun? Do I even need to care?
He's a YouTuber for like a very, very long time.
Okay. It's not.
I didn't really watch this shit.
I know that I've heard that name, but who it is not coming to me.
Yeah. Also need more BLG VTM videos. Your wish is my command. We will make more. There are people like Walsh in real life, and you can think there's something deeper there, but there isn't.
Yeah.
If Mozart was still alive, he absolutely would have turned up at Diddy's house at least once. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I don't think
Walsh is a glowy. No. He's not a glowy. He's just a fucking, like... He's sort of a dweeb.
Well,
it's not even. That's not even it though. Because
it's not that he's a dweeb. It's that
because I feel like a dweeb is at least timid and not willing to take people on. That's not him at all. He's a bore. He's committed to being a bore.
Yeah, the way you said it initially is the correct conception.
And I hate that. I hate that aesthetic. I hate that. I just I hate it.
I hate that. I won't get into it. There's
whoever the guy that owns Daily Wire, not Shapiro, Jeremy Boring, I think, seems like a freak.
Yes.
Yeah, he's weird. Yeah.
He is.
Yeah. What's his name? Jeremy Boring's weird. More so than the host, to be honest. And he made Lady Ballers.
One of their programs that I don't even know what it's about.
Okay. He I think is the one that's responsible for kicking off what's her face? Brett Cooper.
Big mistake.
Big mistake. She just released her first video today. It came up in the feed. It's like 1 million fucking views.
It has to be like well over it now.
Well over. Yeah, I was like, what? Like that girl just got an upgrade.
Yeah.
I want BLG, Mithras, and Axe videos. Your wish is our command. You will get more of that as well. Turned out Critical Role was role-playing. Yeah. I've met a lot of people like Walsh where it appears our views overlap, but then it's like, oh, you're that bitter, resentful, secret freak type of conservative that I thought Hollywood libs made up.
I don't know that he's a secret freak. I think it's just he's aggressively boring.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like this is we're going to see this happen as we keep winning.
Based Catholic slacker mindset instead of the Protestant work ethic.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Many holidays, festivals, saints and feast days. But yeah, there are a lot of people who are anti-woke, but who, other than that, have nothing in common with you.
Right. BAP is so cringe. Correct.
Yeah.
The only Bronze Age mindset I'm interested in is the work of Alexander McCree's. Yeah. Yeah, Raygun was a YouTuber a while ago. Still need more integration of audience into active participation and use. Better question might be, why aren't we making more videos ourselves? Yeah, that's right. Go make more videos.
Yeah.
Didn't Chris Raygun fuck Macy Green, the big-titted feminist? Yeah, I think so. I think she stopped being a feminist, maybe?
Who is this?
Lacey Green, she was like early 2010s,
yeah.
sex
I remember.
educator.
Yeah, I think she did stop. Well, I haven't even thought or seen anything by her in like
in a long
at least
time. 6
years, if not more.
Mozart would have started the Diddy parties. RPG safety tools are like tags asking people not to use the hairdryer while lying in the bath. If you think Catholics are prudes, don't like music, and work to death, you don't know any Italians, Argentinians, and Brazilians. Everyone is gradually reading Acts 2 and have been for the last 2 years.
There's no other way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Virgin Protestant work ethic versus Chad Catholic siesta.
Yeah.
Thank you for the $5. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
I love how much more racially segregated they made D&D by saying there are no half races.
I think that's an unambiguously and unironically good choice. I've never liked half orcs or half elves. They're the first sort of unique, special. They're a race that exists to be the
special
the one
snowflake.
exception.
Yeah.
Right.
I just want humans. I don't give a fuck about other creature types as playable races. I just want to play humans.
Yeah.
I'm so I don't really care.
Yeah.
Brett made 500,000 subs before her first vid. That's true, and I think she's probably broken 1 million today. I love Mithras, yes. Lady Ballers was a movie where men claimed to be women to dominate women's basketball.
It's so lame. It's like, let's mock what they're doing. Isn't it goofy? Ha ha ha.
This is okay. So yes, whoever brought this up originally, this is correct. If this was you, that's exactly what we're talking about. We don't need right-wing propaganda.
Yeah.
We have Grand Wizards of the Coast to keep us misignating all over the place. Mozart wrote a song about pissing to be sung by a choir. Related to the Don't Apologize, did you see the new video of Brett Cooper? She talks about not becoming another cancel culture. We saw that it came out, but we did not watch it.
Did not tune in for the whole, how long was it? 2 hours?
I don't know.
Longer than I was willing to watch.
I was not willing to watch
any of it, basically.
Zoomer chick talk about politics. Realization people need to hear: the solution to lefty propaganda art is not righty propaganda art.
It's good art. It's just art.
Same thing with games. We don't need lay-based right-wing game. We just need good games. That's all we need. I don't know where everyone grew up, but the right lost the culture because of the negative stereotypes that went with it in the 90s and early 2000s.
Well, that was part of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a symptom, not a cause.
Yeah.
Damn,
Jeez,
1.6 million.
views. That's insane.
Nuts.
I'm a lapsed Catholic. I love God, but got tired of being told I murdered Jesus constantly.
I was never told this.
He murdered Jesus. What's the TLDR on the Teal publishing thing McCrease posted today? So apparently Teal tried to buy like Bain Publishing or something that has some right-wing authors or right-ish wing authors. And the leaked details, and I don't know if it's true or not, is that Bain Publishing has some sort of exit contract with all of their talent. So if the company gets bought, the talent is not bought with them. It reverts back to
the authors.
Yeah, which makes
IP
buying the company worthless.
Yes.
And so when that fell through, he went to a different company and then started poaching the authors from there, I think. I don't know. But it's basically that like Teal is backing Space Marine fiction. Like, we're so
which I'm okay with.
Yeah. So potentially some sort of patronage network. By the way, McCree sent out an email. Backers of the Treasure Tome who ordered the core rulebooks can get them expedited shipping. I can't wait to get my books. Didn't Chris Ray Gun used to critique Lacey Green and then they got together? Sounds about right. I thought Catholics held to Christus Victor, not PSA. I need your help here. I know only Orthodox. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I'm a Jew who converted to Christianity. Shit gets tense during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Oh, okay. I want to play a half-halfling so I can be a quarterling.
Quarterling?
Yeah. Anyway, we've gone a little bit late because it's been a lot of fun talking to you guys.
This has been
fun. But we do have to get going. I got to get to bed. And we'll see you guys another time.
Indeed.
So we're going to stop the stream.
All right, boys, take it easy.